What's up, Bay fam? Welcome back to a new video. Today's video is a new concept that I'm trying, and it's called Bey-Talk. Now, I'm not sure if other Beyblade YouTubers out there have the same kind of idea of title for a video like this, or if I'm the only one who does it, or the first one who does it. Well, let me know if you find anyone that do the same thing as me, because I would like to note that I'm not trying to steal their idea, but I'm trying to just share my opinions the best I can. Now, two things I need to tell you guys before I start this video. First one, I'm tired, so I might yarn a bit during the video, and I'm very sorry. It's not disrespectful towards you guys, it's just that, like I said, I'm tired. The second thing, here comes the yawn. The second thing, I'm not talking too loudly because people around me are already in bed, so I don't want to disturb them with my voice being too high. So luckily, my tablet is still able to capture my voice perfectly, and you guys will be able to hear me. So, today's topic for Bey-Talk is the modifications of rules. Now, the reason why I want to do modifications of rules as the first topic is because of a new Bey that's gonna come out pretty soon called BulletGriffon. Now, for those of you guys who saw probably the Terakatomi videos or even some video presented by other YouTubers or just general know how the Bey works because they saw pictures or images or whatever, you already know that this Bey has a special system called the bullet system. Now, when it comes to Beyblade X, it's the first time that we're gonna see the bullet system introduced into the Beyblade X world. Although it's not the first time that the Beyblade series or Beyblade brand or toy has the bullet system. The first one, if I'm not mistaken, but then again I might. The first one, if I'm not mistaken, was introduced in Beyblade Burst with Venom Diabolos or Erase Diabolos with the bullet driver, which was a driver that was able to separate into two parts to still have like a part attached to the Bey that will still help him spin, and one part that would become like a mini drone to be able to still stay in the arena and fight the opponent at the same time, or create obstruction or obstacles for the opponent Bey. And sometime for your own as well, because nothing is perfect. It's not like in the anime where you could actually control your Bey by just screaming their name and rah, go power. Anyways, so with all that said, when that bit was introduced into Beyblade Burst, since the activation of the system was not considered to be a burst itself, the opponent didn't get a point by burst finishes. The only way that everything was established, it was that technically, since the drone, which I would like to call it, was able to act on his own in the stadium and being able to be removed from play by over finish, stamina finish, not burst because it cannot burst more than what it was, it didn't count as a loss for the user of the bullet driver. It still counts as a possibility for the bullet driver user to gain points by survive finish, survive finish, over finish, or even burst finish. Now, with Beyblade X, we have the bullet system that comes with BulletGriffon, obviously, and that system works a bit the same way as the bullet driver work. Basically, the Bey will be able to separate into two Beys to be able to attack the opponent at the same time, but then again, the question is, it's about the rules again. Because, as we know, in Beyblade X, there are some rules that have sometimes priorities or sometimes don't have priorities. It's literally on the balance. So, with the priority rules, you'll have the idea of having your Bey have the burst priority, or ring out priority, sorry, or even extreme priority. Sorry again. So when it comes to BulletGriffon, that's the general question. What's happening with the rules? So to show an example, since I don't have the bay yet, I'm gonna use these two bays. My Phoenix Flare Zenith 960 Low Orb and my quote-unquote call Flame Perseus round 660 tapered. Now, the question is as follows. Normally, with two normal bays, like these two, during a battle, if one is over finish, it counts as 2 points for the opponent. So Perseus will have 2 points when he doesn't have none. If it's a survivor finish and he's still spinning while he stops, it's considered to be a point for him. If it's an extreme finish, of course, it's 3 points for whoever did the extreme finish, and if it's a burst finish, it's a 2 point for whoever bursted which. Now, the thing is, with BulletGriffon, since it's going to be the first of its kind in the Beyblade Dex general idea, you have a bay that's able to separate into two parts, one top half and one bottom half, and they're both will be still able to battle. So the question is about the rules is the following. If one of the part, let's say for example, the top half is removed from play, either by over finish or extreme finish, and that's the best remove from play possible, because if it's a stamina finish or spin finish, the part still has to stay in the stadium and cannot move until the second part has completely stopped moving or the opening bay has stopped moving. Now, since technically, according to the drone effect or bullet effect, they're still considered to be the same bay but separated, and one of them is still spinning while it hasn't burst, and the other one has stopped spinning and didn't burst either, would it be considered to be a burst? But a burst for the opponent, that's the thing. But since it's the mechanic of the bay to split into two, I don't think we can consider that to be a burst. So the burst rule wouldn't work at that time when the bay is separated. The only time that it would consider to be a burst is if, by illustration, we saw that the lower half has the hexa bit. I'll use my own hexa, the blue hexa. If the bottom half with the hexa bit burst, which means the bottom half is separate from the hexa bit, it would be considered to be a burst, technically. But if it's still attached, but the top half has stopped spinning because it has a little rod into it that makes it still spin during the time that the other part is still spinning as well, would it be considered to be a spin finish for the opponent if the lower half is still spinning? Now, when it comes to the other form of finishes, either extreme or over finish, the same question still applies. If the lower half is launched into the over finish zone, but the upper half is still battling and doing itself an over finish for his opponent, meaning that the opponent will be into the pocket without a chance of coming back, would it be considered to still be a point for the opponent since one of the part of my bay is in the over finish pocket? Or will I be the only one to get point since a part of my bay is still in the stadium and still spinning? And then again, the question asks itself with the extreme finish. With the extreme finish, we know that technically you have to go out from the stadium through the extreme finish pocket. But what happens if only one part of the dual bay is removed from that part? And then the secondary part is launched into the overfinish bucket. Which one would have priority? Extreme or overfinish? And then again, if both parts are leaving from the extreme finish pocket, would it be considered to be a 3-point or 6-point? You see, that's the kind of thing that this video would be about. Like, this would be the general concept of Bey-Talk, where I ask a question and ask you guys to interact with your comments. So, here you go. Have fun debating.